My mother's death shattered me into a million pieces.
Really?
Biggest heartbreak of my life. I was rescuing myself with my comedy. The expression became different. Expression became therapeutic. I'm bleeding inside, but I'm literally pulling myself from depression.
I'm back with my buddy Marlon Wayans.
Actor and comedian Marlon Wayans
has been performing stand-up since he was a teenager and has starred in dozens of popular series and movies.
Please welcome Marlon Wayans.
I got people cracking up right for 57 minutes. And then it hit me. One stage, after the pod broke down, I cried. Because the reality of my parents being gone hit me.
If you could hear a message from your mom, what would you want that message to be?
Big boy, you did good. You did right by our family. You made sure the grandkids and the great-grandkids and everybody was good. You took care of your brothers and your sisters. I always knew you would.
What do you wish more people would ask you?
Probably what I'm afraid of.
What are you afraid of?
I'm afraid of
It's been so amazing.
Last year was just a transformative, life-changing event.
Team greatness is great.
My name is Lewis Howes. Thanks so much for being here. And before we dive into this special video today, I want to remind you about the Summit of Greatness, our annual conference happening this September in Los Angeles, with David Goggins, Dr. Joe Dispenza, and many more incredible speakers and performers. There will be so many live attendees there that you can meet with, you can network with, and you can help transform your life. Make sure to click the link in the description to get your tickets, and I can't wait to see you at the Summit of Greatness here in Los Angeles. Welcome back, everyone, to the School of Greatness. Very excited about our guests. We have the inspiring Marlon Wayans in the house. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you.
Very excited that you're here. Just for people that don't know, you are extremely talented, not only as an actor, but producer, director, creative, writer, stand-up icon, and your films have done over $1 billion globally over the years.
Crazy.
And we were just talking beforehand about you've been in this industry. I asked you, when did you start making your first dollars? And it's been over 30 years, 3 decades of you in this kind of world of entertainment, writing, creativity, and expressing yourself. And there's something
It's crazy because I only look 30.
You do look 30.
That's what's wild.
You were born, yeah, exactly. And something I read about you recently that I think is really cool, because I think a lot of people think of you only as, well, maybe not a lot of people, but I think a lot of people might assume that you're always out for the joke. You're always out for writing the best joke and getting the laugh, and whether it be on stand-up and the movies that you're creating. But I saw something recently where you talked about wanting to bring spiritual growth to audiences. And I don't know if that's over the last few years that's come to you, or if you've always had that. But when did that start to become a focus for you, saying, I want to obviously bring laughter because laughter is healing, but how can I help audiences grow spiritually through my creativity?
I think that started for me. I think stand-up has developed me into that. I think that was always there, but I couldn't hear it because I was too desperate for the joke. But then life happens. And you understand, for 47 years of my life, 50 or 48 years, I had an amazing life. I say it to them, I'm like, if people could die and come back as anybody, please come back as me for my first 48 years of life.
Really?
Magical life. Storied existence. My mother who loved me, my father who protected us and stayed with my mom, and brothers and sisters when they wasn't trying to kill me. They were great, great role models, and they poured into me. Uncles and aunties that loved me. And I just had a beautiful time. A career. I grew up in a house with my legends. You know how crazy that is?
Wow.
That the people that you want to be like, they're sleeping in the bed above you.
That's crazy.
On the bed underneath you. Everybody that you grow to be like, and then they become superstars. And then you meet Eddie Murphy when you're like 8 years old, and Robert Townsend when you're like 6, and guys like John Witherspoon, another comedic giant, when you're like 12. And then you go on, your brother creates In Living Color, and you know Jim Carrey and Tommy Davidson and J-Lo, and all these great, David Allen Greer, all these great people. I had a great life. And then what happened was my parents died. And 57 people I loved died. And
57?
57.
Wow.
You know, and that's the sad part about getting to be my age is
People
it
die.
happens to, yeah. And, you know, and not to be a hater, but you better hope that you watch people die because that means, like, you're still alive. You know what I mean? Hey, but I'm going to miss you, but I don't want to go. I want to be here forever. So, you know, I started having this different vision of myself because I was rescuing myself with my comedy. The expression became different. The expression became therapeutic. I'm bleeding inside, but I'm literally pulling myself from depression because my mother's death shattered me into a million pieces.
Really?
Biggest heartbreak of my life.
Yeah.
And my father's death, I started putting myself back together piece by piece. And with that piece, my dad was a very religious and spiritual person. I realized that when I did my last special, Good Grief, and even the special before that, God Loves Me, I realized that it's not about the joke, that it's about the story. If I could bring story to stand-up, I can do something different. That would be my voice. Because I've been doing movies and TVs for 30 years. And now I'm like, oh, wow. I only been doing stand-up 12. And I'm like, oh, wow. If I put all this knowledge that I have, these together, I could create something that hasn't really been done. And then that's what left me with the spirit. Because when I do stand-up, it's like a character that has, in a movie, a hero, that has to find an elixir. That elixir, for a lot of times, it's not the laughs. The laughs is the things that keeps you entertained. The elixir for me is always going to be love, right? That is a universal thing, love. So if I put whether it's love of self, whether it's love of a girl, whether it's love of my family, whether it's whatever it is, healing, right? Those things, and that's what I'm trying to get at the end. Then beyond the joke, because if I tell you a joke, I could change your mood, but I'm not going to change your life. Now, if I tell you a great story that affects you, now I left you with a jewel that you can actually change your life with.
Wow.
From watching me tell you these jokes and these stories. And that's how I think I'm going to be a very effective communicator and brand. It's like a rebranding of myself. I have all this time. Me and my brothers did all these great things. And I realized the individual that I am. And now I could do Marlon, right? Take Wayans and put it over there for a second. And let me fly around as Marlon and find my voice without having to answer to a committee, without having to, you know, do things that everybody, the older brothers say. I could just do me. And then when I learn all of me, I could come back to Wayans and be like, guys, let me tell you how we can build this brand. And so that's why that's what I'm finding, that my voice is it's more than just telling jokes. Telling jokes is the smallest part. Telling you a great story and changing your mood and changing your life.
Who taught you how to tell stories better? Or when did you start to really master the art of storytelling?
I'm still working on it. You never really master the art of storytelling. There's different kind of storytelling. There's storytelling with stand-up, and then there's just storytelling. I think the best book about writing and storytelling I ever read was probably The Writer's Journey. I think it was by
The Hero's
Chris
Journey?
Vogler.
Oh, The Writer's Journey.
The Hero's Journey.
Hero's Journey.
You're right. Well, I think it was Chris Vogler.
Is that Joseph Campbell's Hero's Journey or different?
No, Joseph Campbell did. I think he did Hero Has 1,000 Faces.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I think, I mean, it was Chris Vogler. I think it's the same dude that did Myth and Movies. Whatever. Hero's Journey, Writer's Journey. Sometimes they call it either. That book really made me look at, when I watch movies, I look at them differently. I see scripts, I see characters, I see journeys. What does he want? It made me look at, I'm not entertained by movies anymore.
You're studying instead.
I'm studying. It's crazy. I'm watching a movie You guys are, no, I'm watching the construction. I'm like, oh my God, good news, bad news, worse news. Indiana Jones is an hour and a half, 2 hours of good news, bad news, worse news. Something good happens, something bad happens, something worse happens. I escape that and good news again. And that's bad news. Good news, bad news, worse news. I get the thing from the statue, from this egg or whatever. It's a valuable egg. It unleashes a boulder. Oh my God, I'm running. I take and I jump and I get to safety. And when I land from escaping the boulder, I'm in a pit of snakes.
Right.
My worst nightmare. I escape, right? So studying story, studying character, studying what a hero goes through, studying how other characters help the hero or try to hinder the hero from getting the elixir, right? Those are obstacles in his way, insurmountable odds. And every scene has to be like that. So I learned from that book, and I also think I took Robert McKee's story by Robert McKee. He had a seminar that he did, and I went 5 times. First time I went, I didn't understand a word he was saying. I swear to you, I cut English. You know what I mean? Like, like even when I write, I'm like, look, I'm not great with grammar. I'm not gonna word that good, but here and then, and my writing partner Rick, he's a stickler for that. So we work.
Great. Yeah.
I'm like, yo, here's this funny. Yo,
Make it work.
What was this character with that kind? Let's write that, and then we collaborate on that. He is never gonna be able to give the flavor and them jokes like I could give. So we have a great collaboration. But taking that course the first time, I didn't know what he was saying, but I kept going. And now, on the 5th time I took it, I was like, I don't need to take it no more. I understand everything that man is saying. I understand everything that man is saying when it comes to writing the story. Crazy enough, parody of which I came up with in stories like the least important thing.
Really?
It's all about the jokes. It's a desperate medium.
The story is not important?
A thin one. But the jokes, everything.
The timing of the jokes, huh?
Gotta be funny.
Really?
When you write a script, when you're writing a parody, unlike any other genre, right? Everything gotta be funny. The slug line, okay, where am I? What's funny about where the person is? What is the people doing? They gotta be doing something funny. Who is saying something funny? Who is the character? They gotta be funny. Their interaction with the next person gotta be funny. The dialogue. What's funny about the dialogue? What's funny about the world? Everything. Joke. The
whole movie.
The whole movie.
Wow.
It's a desperate medium. That's why not a lot of people can do parody the way we can do parody, because we have such a well and a knowledge of great characters and our experience, and you know, through Wayans is telling jokes and for years, and you have to master the art of comedy. It's its own art, and there's different forms of comedy within the art of comedy. There's different genres, right? And sketch is so back to. I'm sorry, I talk a lot.
No, it's great. Outside of your own movies, what do you think are the 3 best parody movies that you've seen that have done it incredibly well?
Airplane, Hot Shots, Blazing Saddles. I think they did it great.
Wow.
They those guys, the Zuckers, Mel Brooks, you know, they're the forefathers of the genre. So, you know, respects. You know, without them doing it, we probably would have come to it.
Right.
But they gave us the blueprint.
Yeah. And they showed you how it works.
Yeah. And we just remodeled the whole thing. He was like, this is the old Ford car and it runs on gas. And he was like, nah, take all that off. We're gonna make it electric.
Yeah.
We're gonna put an exhaust system on there. This car's gonna go 0 to 100 in 3 seconds. Like, we just changed
Revved it up.
Yes. And put the flavor on it. We put our urban voices on a white genre, which gave it flavor. And it was like, oh, we never seen that before. And it's hard to replicate because it's based on our experience. That's why we're like, somebody wants to do Scary Movie 5. We're like, okay, go for it. it's not going to do well.
It's hard. Yeah, it'd be hard.
Because you have to know what you're doing. And you have to love the art of parody.
Right.
Parody is its own beast. Now, as a writer, I understand that story. So next time I write a parody, it's going to be way better than the parody I wrote in the past because now I understand story.
But you said story doesn't matter as much as
It
the
doesn't.
jokes and parody.
It doesn't. But
parody,
I still think if you could marry the two, you've done something great. Wow. So that's what I'm looking forward to, is writing the next thing that's going to be, I'm putting it all together. Everything is coming all together.
You're working on it right now?
No. Well, I have a couple ideas in my head.
Right.
And I think Rick and I are going to lay into one, and then we're just going to let it rip.
That's cool.
I had one I was going to do, but I can't. So I'm not going to even go there because, and then, so I think books help me tell stories. Also, I think some of the great comedians tell great stories, like Richard Pryor, great storyteller. Dave Chappelle, wonderful storyteller. Dave is masterful. You watch Dave, man. Dave is like, it's like going to school. He's like a science professor. You know what I mean? Or English teacher. Like he's well read, well spoken. He knows how to put it all together. My brother Damon, great storyteller, great comedian. Like this, so I think you have to steal fire from the gods.
Yeah.
And what you learn is you don't steal jokes. I never want to tell anybody's joke. You never got to accuse me of. I'm a writer. I'm a writer not just for myself but for others. You know what I mean? Like I'm a creator, so I don't ever want to hear you steal. No, I don't do that. I look at things that they do that are inspiring, and I go, I like this element. You know what I mean? Like I like that Dave can educate you with his humor. I love that Kevin Hart could sell you a joke. That's a great salesman right there. Whether it's good or bad, he knows how to.
It makes it sound funny either way. Yeah.
Chris Rock, I love his artistry because Chris is a perfectionist. Right? And these are like guys that's been doing it before me. Like I'm newer to stand up, so they're kind of like the big brothers for me, even though some of them are younger or my age. I just started taking stand up really serious the past 12, maybe 14 years.
Wow.
So but now I'm progressing at a crazy rate because I write, produce, 30 years of material. I write TV. I know how to direct. So when all these things meet the stand-up comedian, and the reason why I started doing stand-up because I was a star for like 20-something years. I've been a star.
TV, movies.
Yeah. I'm not content.
Really?
I want to be a superstar. In order to be a superstar, meaning when the best scripts come in, I want to be one of the 10 guys that they're sending those scripts to. I want to be one of the 10 guys that get the best scripts to work with the best directors because they want to collaborate, and we get the best budgets. And then I go on a worldwide tour selling out of this movie. But I need the fans to be like, I trust him. So see, stand-up has made me a professor in comedy.
Really?
Now I understand. And then I know how to sell a joke, and I know how to, when I'm on these talk shows, I've been lighting them up. I light Jimmy Fallon up. Jimmy Fallon go on the show, he's like, oh my God, it's always a 7-minute vacation when you come on. You don't ask me questions. I just roll and rip because I got 300 people in front of me and make them laugh. And then I know how to make them laugh in the morning. So when I do Kelly and Ryan or Kelly and her husband, what's her name? Yeah, my bad, Kelly. Kelly and Mark, when I do their show, I know how to, I'm appropriate for who's watching. So females in the morning, I'm not going to curse. I'm not going to be too edgy.
You read the room.
Yeah. Read the room. Know who's, you know what I mean? There's morning talk shows to the afternoon drive.
Yeah, if you're doing
knowing who to sell and how to sell. So me doing stand-up, I was like, I'm going to get people to pay $50 a ticket to come see me. And one day I'm going to sell out the Garden. And if I could sell out the Garden and they're paying $50 to $100-something to come see me there, or maybe a couple hundred, I don't know. Then when it comes to movies, they're going to pay that $20 to come see me in the movies. Because I have been working to be a huge international star, and everything is what is being created through just me working. I don't even look up and see what I've done. I just love to work. And now I'm starting to look up and go, okay, you have to pull out of the micro and you have to be macro. Now look at yourself and how do you build this artist into this wonderful business? But I have the knowledge and the skill set, and I used to be very humble because humble people want to learn. I've just gotten confident.
Really?
Because I know I did the work. Wow. I can talk to you about how to write you want to know something, I have an excellence in something. I have a skill set. I have a knowledge of something that is like, oh, how did you put that together, right? And I could sit there and I could tell you how I did it. I know the science behind comedy. I know the math behind comedy. I know this. I've done it my whole life. And now I'm learning sales, and now I really want to learn business. You know what I mean? So I'm going to surround myself with people that can teach me about that so I can apply all those things to this thing called comedy and build out of Marlon.
But for so many years, you had movies that people were already coming to the movies and watching you. They're already paying $20 to come. You're selling $1 billion at the box office globally with all your movies. Most stand-up comedians, it seems to me, do stand up to try to get big enough to be able to then go movies. You started in movies and you're going backwards.
I'm going backward.
Why go backwards when you've already been a star?
Because I don't want to I want to laugh at $1 billion in box office. I want $100 billion in box office.
Why do you want $100 billion?
Tom Cruise, because I know I can do it. I have an amazing skill set, not just comedy, like drama. I went to performing arts high school. They don't even know. I'm a really talented dramatic actor. I know it, and just got better. And this year I got Bel Air. I got 2 episodes of that, and then I have a movie with Jordan Peele, him, and that Justin Tipping director, who's an absolute visionary. And I'm telling you, man, I'm in my bag, and I can finally say it. You know when you
put the reps in. You got the reps.
I got the reps in. I did the work.
What do you think is holding you back from the next level of those results that you want?
God.
Why do you think God is holding you back?
Because I think in order to make the kind of sword that I'm going to be, I have to go through a lot of fire. I had to go through a lot of fire. So everything is building me. God is not breaking me. So every time, every milestone that I don't reach or I get close to, I'm still hungry. I'm still thirsty. But I'm better.
Wow.
I'm better and more skilled. Like now, God, I was too young to headline movies. I couldn't get the girl and save the day. I just started putting muscle on my body and getting the beard and having the poise to stay still in the scene and be charming, not funny.
You were the funny guy, and now
I'm the friend. No. Now I know how to be both. Now I know how to be Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool. I'm ready for those kind of things because this is what I have insane. Like there's only Jordan Peele told me, he said something funny to me. He came to set, and he was like, "Let me take 15 minutes and just talk to you about how special you are." He watched my performance, watched my daily, and it's like, I gotta say, there's nobody like you. He said, you're one of one. Anybody that's like you is either dead or crazy. But the well you can come from dramatically
and comedically
and comedy at the same time. He's like, there's only been like Robin Williams, like Jim Carrey. Like there's not a lot of guys that can hit that high note. The high note. There's one thing, like Will Smith can do both.
But he's not a stand-up guy.
And he can hit the low point, the drama.
But he wasn't a stand-up guy, though. He isn't.
But that's what I'm saying. See, Will, when it comes to the comedy, not that he can't do it, but he would have to study a little bit more to hit the high notes that Eddie Murphy has hit. That high note. You know what I mean? It's different. It's like Beyonce versus Jennifer Hudson. It's that high note. Beyonce, superstar, right? And she's amazing. Damn high note Jennifer Hudson is. So I can never, right? And that's the level of funny, like a Jim Carrey. That's the high note. Jim Carrey, Eddie Murphy, Martin, those are the high notes. Like, you know what I'm saying? For me, Marlon, I'm trying to hit the high notes, like Dave Chappelle, high notes. And then to hit every level in between. And so I'm not comparing myself. And I have nothing but respect for all those mentioned and love for all those mentioned, including Will. I think Will has been an amazing star and an example for years. I could look at that and go, yeah, he broke the mold. Eddie Murphy, he broke the mold. You telling me black don't travel and black ain't overseas, but yet
The box office saying differently.
yes.
Yeah.
And same thing with us. There's like black and comedy don't work. Yeah, we give them a movie called Scary Movie, and that makes $300 million worldwide.
Wow.
And we give them part 2, makes $100-something million worldwide. Then we do White Chicks, it makes $100-something million worldwide. And you're telling me black don't travel? All my movies on Netflix have been #1 in every territory around the world. #1. They don't tell you this, but it does travel. And now I know I want to be able to do it all. So I want to be able to do the romantic comedy. I want to do the action. I want to do the action comedy. I want to do the buddy action comedy. I want to be able to do the, a drama. I want to be able to do all of it. And I want people to go, that's the guy. And I want to sell the shit out of it in every market. And along the way, align myself with great brands. And, I've managed myself pretty good. I grew up in the projects, trouble all around me my whole life. I've never been to jail. I had fights. I could scrap. I've never been to jail. I never got a DUI. I don't do dumb shit.
Yeah, that's good.
I never disrespect women because I know where I'm going. And in order to get there, I got to keep it clean.
Yes.
So, I behave myself.
Wow.
I'm appropriate.
But I mean,
I talk a lot.
no, I love it, man. This is beautiful. You mentioned that, I don't know if you said God is like holding you back or you still need more connection to God to get to the next level or whatever that is.
God makes me have to do the work.
So you
There's
think
more I
God
need
is,
to learn.
what do you think, what is God speaking to you about how to get to the next level of service through your creativity to be able to create the results you want?
Keep working and keep building and stay on your path. You're doing great. And I see it now because my last stand-up, Good Grief, was about my parents dying, about how to grieve, how to get through it. Minute 57, I'm making people laugh, talking about changing my pampers, my daddy's pamper and my mom's pamper, and talking about their private parts. And I got people cracking up. I got all right for 57 minutes. And then it hit me. I was running from my own pain. And I was talking about my mother, and I broke down. On stage, after the pod, broke down. I cried. I was just like, because the reality of my parents being gone hit me.
Yeah, I didn't hit you until then.
It did.
But it
wasn't
deeper.
supposed to hit me in a show.
Right.
When I'm filming a special. And it did, and I was like, all right, cool. And I was going to cut that out, but I was like, no. Keep it in. Because I need people to understand that I, like you, I'm hurting. But life goes on, and we still look for smiles. And I get so many messages in my inbox about Good Grief on Amazon Prime, about how it affected them and how it helped them grieve. They lost their parents too. We're in the same club, gang, and how they cried with me. And they thanked me because they were in a place of depression, and I helped them see their way out. Because I showed myself my way out. So that's healing.
Yeah.
That's why doctors make a lot of money. That's why pharmacies are a huge business, because they help people feel better. Well, so can comedy. I want to help people feel better. I want to heal. So the stories I'm telling now, my next one that I'm working on, I have a trans child. Daughter turned into a son. And I talk about the transition, not their transition. I talk about the 5 stages of grief, storytelling that I learned from those books. The 5 stages of grief to get to acceptance. From defiance to accept.
Resistance, frustration,
Yes.
anger, upset.
No, I was defiant. I was like, no, you're not doing it. And then I went through the 5 stages of grief. Now, I'm proud to say it only took me 1 week. I'm sad to say that there's a lot of people that it may take them a lifetime and they'll never get to this beautiful place called acceptance. And so I find God speaks to me. I need to talk about this in a funny way with truth, because there's people out there that need some healing.
Yes.
There's people out there that need to hear this, to know that, oh, I identify with you. I got people coming up to me crying. Oh my God, my child is going through the same thing, and I just want you to know. Once again, I'm taking my art of comedy and I'm helping to heal.
Wow.
And I think that's something different. Different. I want to make you feel good, not just on some silly. I don't want to punch down on nobody. I want everybody to feel good. I'm going to punch down on me.
Right.
I'm the joke. I'm the butt of my jokes. And if I'm going to tell you a good story about how to be better.
I was telling my friend this morning at the gym, because he was asking me, I lost my father a couple years ago as well.
Sorry.
And thank you. And,
Gang, gang.
Yeah.
You lost your dad?
Yeah.
Mom's still here?
Mom's still here.
Man,
Yeah.
love her.
Yeah.
Love her. Let me tell you something. I love my daddy. But if I had to choose between him and my mama, bye, Howell.
Bring your mom back. Yeah.
Mothers is something. You see, your dad always prepares your boy for, when I'm gone. Your dad, especially if you're close, your dad gives you those lessons of and that the guide on how to be a man. When your mother goes, it rips your heart out. My mother died, blended my heart into pieces, and she went first. And so love them. If you don't, and once a week, go take your mother on a date. Go take her on a date. I took my mother once a week. I didn't care where I was. My father too. Take him out for a drink. I don't care where I was in the world. If I'm in Ohio, I'm flying to New York because they live separately. I fly to New York, hang out with my dad, take him to dinner, laugh with him, have some wine, and I get on a plane. Tuesday, pick my mother up, go take her to dinner, go on a date. And I did that because I knew one day they weren't going to be here. And so it's important to give them that time, because when they go, yeah, you're going to be sad, but I have no regrets.
Yeah.
I have no regrets. I was a great son.
That's good.
As I was a great brother, as a great friend, and titles that really mean something to me.
Yeah.
I've been great in. And so make sure you
That's beautiful. Yeah.
go take on a date.
Since their passing, what's been the biggest lesson, as you can reflect back, that each of them taught you about life?
My mother taught me to always learn, try different things, find joy, even though your situation may be bad, whether it's poverty, whether it's, grieving, always find the funny, right? And to love hard and to be affectionate, to let it all out and not be afraid to be vulnerable and let it all out. And some of it I learned is from watching her, is not letting disappointments or failures make me bitter, negative, and too afraid to be vulnerable, right? So really watching the journey, the good, the bad, and the ugly. You can't, I think people spend so much time worrying about what their parents did wrong. I study what they did right. When I watch movies, one time we was watching Men in Black, and my brother was like, you know what's wrong with this movie? I said, it made $400 million. Nothing. It's perfect.
Right.
So here's what they did right. So, and my dad, so that's what my mom taught me. My father taught me, and I will say, and he would be so proud to hear this. My father taught me God.
Really?
My father taught me the importance of God's journey, the importance of that Bible. And I need to read it more. I need to study it. My dad could tell you the scriptures. He knew only one book, Bible.
Wow.
You ask him a verse about love, Corinthians 13, 7, chapter 4. How do you know? He studied the Bible. My dad would wake up in the morning. First thing he did was he got up and he studied the Bible. Then he closed that book and he would say a prayer. And then he would rub his knees and look up to God like, how am I going to feed these 10 people today? And he go, let's go. And he come back with dinner.
Wow.
So my father taught me the importance of God and the importance of working hard for your family. And don't be afraid of hard work. If you're going to clean a toilet, nah, don't do that. No. Get up underneath it, right? Get in the bowl, get in the... When I was working in sneaker stores and stuff, I was a great employee. That's why when it comes to me doing movies, I've always had great experiences. All my directors love me because you don't have to tell me, hey, can you learn your lines? No. When I leave a set, I don't care, we had a 14-hour day. I got my acting coach that I pay for this. They pay for it. I'm like, all right, let's work. We're going to work 3 hours in the morning, and then we're going to work an hour before, after I work out. Come back. Because when I get to set,
Want to be prepared.
I'm going to be prepared. So now I'm not sitting there learning lines. No,
Right
I got
before,
it all
yeah,
packed in. I'm ready. And you can move me any kind of way, and I can adjust because I'm not worried about gathering lines. So I do more work than you actually expect or I'm expected to do. I don't give less. I always give more. If I'm writing movies, I love to do it all. All the meetings, I'm there. I don't phone nothing in. I do all my writing, all my stand-up. They're like, how are you dropping a new hour of material every year? And I'm like, because I'm a writer. And I don't write it down no more. The audience don't even know. You're basically coming to watch me write.
Live.
Live.
You're creating it live.
Live. I don't do
Wow.
them in town, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. I don't have to. I just do I do my special 11/11. 11/17, I was in Baltimore or somewhere else with a brand new hour.
Wow.
Not one word from the special. Brand new hour that I worked through, right? And now
How'd you do that?
I'm a writer.
Yeah.
I know it. And I challenge myself. I already know what my next special is. I know what my next 3 specials are now.
Wow.
Now, I haven't worked on all the material, but I know.
You have the
right?
idea of the journey of where it's going.
Yep. I know what the next one, Ugly Baby. Skittles is this one. Next one's Ugly Baby. Ugly Baby is my journey with my brothers and sisters in my household. And then after that, talk about relationships. Like, I know them. Because life has been my greatest writer, the journey. And now I can apply it to my business, right? So my last 3 specials, my last 2, or maybe my 3, I paid for them myself. I was like, no, I don't. They were like, oh, yeah, and we don't have the budget for it right now, or, we're slotted through till 2026. And I'm like, okay, that's cool, but I'm ready to film my special now. So I filmed my special, and then I licensed it to HBO. Then I licensed it to Amazon, and now I still have my special.
Wow.
Because I know I'm not waiting for anybody, Hollywood, to tell me I'm ready. No. I know when I'm ready. I know when I'm making people laugh. Now either you're going to bite down and you're going to give me the budget, go market the hell out of this and bring people to your site, and this is what it's going to cost. But I'm not waiting on you to tell me I'm ready. I know how good it is. I'm getting standing ovations everywhere I go.
Wow.
I know how good it is. So I'm going to film it in a place that I desire. I'm going to give it my all, and then I'm going to cut it together, and hopefully you like it. And if not, then
I'll sell somewhere else.
I got a write-off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or you sell it online or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, I'll sell it. I'll create my own website. Everything is God. If they don't want to buy it, if they don't want to license it, that's God. God's saying, okay, well, then you got to create your own business.
What do you mean everything is God?
There's no failure. There's no wrong. Whenever something doesn't go my way, it's because it wasn't supposed to. So when I say everything is God, you trust God. You think of the positives, not the negatives. If it didn't happen, my brother told me, if one door closes, if you sit there and you staring at that one door, you're not looking around. 1,000 other doors have opened. All you gotta do is look around. You staring at the door like a dog stares at a tennis ball. It's like, no. And if there's a wall and you're trying to get somewhere, sometimes you have to kick a hole through the wall and the door. I'm gonna kick a hole through that wall and I'm gonna wall and I'm gonna make my way. Because that's what I have to do. God is telling me not to just open that door and go through it. No. If I really want to be masterful, I gotta knock my way through there.
But what if you've spent $1 million on the production and you've spent 6 months on developing the content and you've had this expectation of launching it into the world and you put all your heart, your life, your soul into this thing and then no one wants it?
Great. Not time.
Really?
I learned a lot though. I learned I could put a movie together for $1 million. I learned I could put a special together for $1 million. And I learned about the locations. I learned how much it costs for crew. I've learned about did the director do a great job? What crew worked? Everything is lessons. This is positives. I'm not worried about, there's going to come a time where I'm going to be so big that people are going to buy everything I have. There's going to come a time in my life, and then I'm building a library. And then when I'm gone, maybe, and my kids have this thing that dad did that you go, wow, all these things my dad did that they never saw. Now the legend of me, my kids will be able to eat off of things. So there's no failure. Everything is supposed to happen exactly the way it is. When I was 19, I got Batman. I was going to be the first black person besides Billy D to be in one of these big movies. It was with Tim Burton, and I was going to be Robin. Then I got a phone call from Tim Burton and Denise Denovi and a letter saying that I wasn't.
Really?
And see, I was going to be off to the races. Batman, Robin,
and then
do you know what my career would have been? But it didn't happen. And immediately I was like, I was hurt. But I said, I'm going to start writing these movies. I'm going to start creating my own show. I'm going to start doing things that I know put the ball in my own hand. Had that Robin happened, I would have had a different career.
Where would you be right now had that happened?
I don't know, probably cracked out somewhere because I wouldn't know what to do with that kind of success and money. But God put me on this journey to create. Look at what I've done. Look at because I took the long route. He didn't want me taking the shortcut. I had to take the long route because there was a lot I needed to learn. There was jewels for me to gather all along the way. No, I didn't go straight to it. I went the long way, but look at all that I know now. Look at all this that I know. And I'm going to make my way here. It's taking the long route, the scenic route.
I mean, it's been a beautiful scene. I mean, you've
wonderful. But I'm not sitting there depressed that I didn't get that part. When I say everything is God, I'm saying everything is not all bad. Sometimes the things that you think is failure is actually success. Is how do you interpret not just the business, but life? There's always good and bad. A bad relationship could teach you more than a good relationship, and maybe that wasn't the relationship for you, because that next relationship, you get to apply all this stuff to the perfect woman. And now I am successful, so I'm grateful for the bad. Always be grateful for the bad. And when I say everything is God, you trust God, there's a reason it happens. So just keep doing the work.
Wow.
Don't let it discourage you.
Speaking of relationships, it sounds like, you work 15, 18-hour days for the last 30 years, whether it be on a set or in your own mind, in your own, creative lab, however that looks. You're always working, it seems like.
Yeah.
Touring, traveling,
I don't have
producing,
a day off.
Writing, anything. It's like you're always got work.
I don't have a day off.
How can you have healthy, successful relationships when you're always working?
Because people that love you understand, they cheer for you.
Yeah.
They don't want your time like that. They don't want to pull from the thing that makes you you. They want to see you shine. They know your purpose. And I've been lucky.
Wow.
My first children's mother, Angela, was amazing. Amazing. I never felt like, man, I can't do this and I can't do. No, baby.
Go do it.
Go do your work.
Wow.
Go do your work. They know that this makes me happy. And it provides for the family. Go do your work. And to this day, she's still my best friend and never bothers me. Your kids, you ain't spending enough time with your kids. My kids adore me. But they know dad has to work and dad's doing his purpose. And now they're grown and they're like, hey, I want to do my purpose. And that is inspiring. People that love you cheer for you and they want you to be successful. If they want to spend some time, they'll come on the road with you. And even though you're playing these little, you got to go from this and you're playing a rinky-dink comedy club or whatever it is, if they want to support you and love you, they just care that they're with you and spending time with you. That's cool too. Mm-hmm. But never let somebody take away from you. This is me. And I'm going to invite people in my life that get me. I need wrapping paper. Everybody's wrapping paper. And I'm going to do the same for you. I'm going to inspire you to be your best self as an individual. I don't want to take your time. I hope you blow up to be a big, huge business. I'm there to support you, baby. I'll get on a private plane and come see you anywhere. You can be the breadwinner. After a certain amount of time, I'll retire. I'll find you because I want you to be happy. I don't like when people take. Don't take from me. Let me do this. This is my purpose. If I don't do this, then I'm not living a purpose life. I have to make people smile. Like a fireman that goes into buildings and rescues cats and people in a burning building, that is what comedy is. I go into a burning building to find this elixir called a laugh. So yeah, sometimes you get burnt. Sometimes there's casualties. But man, I'm here to try and make people feel good. I have to do this.
When you have had so much success as a movie star and a TV star and a comedian, why go to small town comedy clubs and spend all the time traveling around the country? Why spend the time doing that at smaller towns, smaller clubs, smaller venues now when you've had so much success?
Because
why not just stay in the big cities and stay in LA and New York and just kind of do your shows 3-4 nights a week?
That way. That's the shortcut. That's the ego. I don't want to be surfaced. I want to be the dude that did the work.
Wow.
You respect the guy, that had 50 fights before he ever, or 270 fights before he finally got the opportunity to become a pro, to build his way up, to get the championship. At least the bout with the championship, because there's a lot of knowledge, a lot of licks I got to take. I have to learn the long way. Well, I'm just going to be a paper champ.
But you're 12, 14 years in. Stand up, right?
Yeah, but everything is God. I'm not trying to be regular. I'm different. It's going to take me longer because I'm logging 10,000 hours, outliers. You log 10,000 hours in something and you can be great at it. I've logged 10,000 hours in 5 different disciplines. So I'm building something different.
Wow.
I'm going to be different, and that's going to take a long time, and that's okay. And I'm not cheating the process. Nobody could tell me I cheated the process. I didn't. I did the work. I worked in pizza shops. I could tell those stories. I did stand up at a pizza shop. I leave this pizza shop. It smelled like pizza. 5 people in there. Marlon Wayans on Scary Movie. I had $750 million of box office. I'm in a pizza shop.
Really? In
a coffee shop. In a dive bar. In a biker bar. Doing stand-up comedy. And all my peers, Sidney Castillo and Esau and DC Irvin and all the guys I came up with. I didn't come up with Kevin Hart and Dave Chappelle and those guys in stand-up. I come up with a different group of people because I started late. And so I'm playing catch up. And if I'm going to play catch up, that means that every weekend I got to work. I don't care where it's at. You learn in stand up. Give me a microphone. Give me the right lights. Give me a good sound system. Give me some water. Give me a stool. Let's go. I don't care where I'm at. Corporate event. I don't care where I'm at. Who's in the crowd? That's what I know.
Are you trying to make money everywhere you go, or is it sometimes just about the reps?
It's about the reps, and you make money doing what you love. I love what I do. I'm not going to work. I'm going to play. I get to play every weekend. And you don't care if it's a dive bar. I don't care if it's even an elite club, like a improv, whatever. I have to go the long way. Before I play the Garden, I have to do this journey. I got to play Winky's Hot Dogs. Before I do the Garden, I got to do the Maurice Pizza.
If you could pick a date the Garden would happen in your future, what would that date be? Where you're selling out at Madison Square Garden. Obviously, it's all God's timing.
I would say when I'm 55.
55. 3 years?
3 years from now.
55.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a note of that.
Yep.
What's the date? Give me the month and day that you would want to be selling out the Garden for your
My
show.
birthday, July 23rd.
July 23rd. All right. 3 years.
Yep.
2020. What is it? 2027?
2024, 2027.
2027. Okay.
We going.
Let's go.
And if I don't make it there, then it'll be 2028. If it don't make it, man,
Next year.
it's going to happen.
You'll just keep doing it. Yeah,
That's
keep
all.
showing up.
I'm telling you, I see it, man. But that's why I'm able to write material.
Yes.
I still do the little clubs and stuff. I'm just now starting to do bigger theaters. I'm going on a theater tour, Wild Child Theater Tour, starting in September. Check my website, Marlon Wayans Official, for tickets and dates, tour dates, Wild Child Tour. So I'm doing my theater tour now, and I'm still building it with this new set. I'm telling you, now I got 4 specials underneath me. 4 specials. 5 actually, because I did headliners, which was one I put all my friends on. 5 specials, and I did this in 12 years.
Wow.
That's like on her
Amazing.
this pace, and I already know my next one, and I know the next 3 after that. I'm telling you, there's something special happening because everything is coming together.
What's after 12 years of doing stand-up, and obviously 30 years of being in comedy and creativity and artistry, what is the next level for you to really be at the, I guess you mentioned Chappelle and these other individuals who have mastered stand-up. What is where you are to where you want to be? What's in the gap?
I think it's I had to get the right team. And not only that, but I think, for me, I think Kanye said something, every artist got to think of themselves as a brand.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need a manager as much as I do a CEO.
You need a CEO.
Yeah. I need to start putting together my team of strategists and how we're going to move. Right now, it's all over the place. But I know after once I get that big tour and I'm able to go, okay,
Now let's go.
let's put this in place. This is how we're going to rock. I'm telling you, next level.
Who are the 2 or 3 guys or gals right now who are just doing it really well in stand-up that you think they've got the right team, they've got the right branding, they've got the right messaging on tour, they've got the audiences, they're just, boom, every
I think
night.
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Dave, because Dave has he's like Bigfoot now. He comes, everybody's going. And you know why? Because he's masterful, because the dude spends his life on a stage. Nobody has more hours long. Dave will do 6 hours of stand-up. He'll be asleep on the stage and wake up and tell you a joke. Like, seriously, I watched him be on stage drinking coffee, whiskey, and sleep for like a minute, looking down and wake up and have a joke. I think Kevin Hart has mastered the science of his business. He and he's proven that you can do it all. You don't have to just do stand-up, which is great for me. Because
You've done a lot already. Yeah.
right, and now I can put it together like that. Oh, we going. I'm at the point now, I want to really build a real live studio. I really want to, because with my brand of humor, I want a studio. I want, I want to like a Tyler Perry. I want to mix all these people together to create Marlon, right? And I know I can do it. And that's my goal. And the meetings I'm having, sitting down with more hedge fund guys and sitting down with more people that want to invest money. I have an excellence. And I've made a track record that's crazy. We've made Hollywood $1 billion. And if the investment, more than $1 billion. If you look at all the things we've done, all the TV shows we created, Wayans Brothers still syndicated. Wayans Brothers, probably costs, I don't know, $1 million an episode. So that's a $100 million investment. And over the course of time, they probably made $500 million, $400 million, and Scary Movie, $19 million, made $300 million.
Wow.
1,000%. I did a movie for $1 million called Haunted House. I should have did it myself out of my pocket, but I didn't. I had partners. OPP.
And how much did it bring in?
Open to $19 million. went on to do $70 million.
Ooh. And if you would have put the million yourself,
I would have.
why
I
not
would
take
have
those?
everybody made 8 figures.
Yeah.
But I probably would have made 30, 40 million.
Why not invest, and make that investment yourself? It's $1
I
million.
don't know. I think because I needed to learn. I don't want to take these leaps of faith without. I'd rather a partner that knows.
Yeah. And they can do the distribution and the marketing.
And they know the distribution. They know the right production team. And,
of course.
They can help me and assist me. I don't need to be greedy. If I own 50% of a movie, it was 70% of a movie. I own 70% of the movie. You know what I mean? And of course, we had In-Game who gave us the money for the promotion, which was about $15 million. And then there was Open Road who distributed us. So, you have partners.
Yeah.
So we all made money off of these investments. And I sold the shit out of it. Put me on a plane.
Let's go.
I did a 20-city tour, sun up to sundown, and I didn't even have a jet. I got on American Airlines, Delta Airline, city to city. I land, I sleep 3-4 hours to get up. 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm hitting the morning shows. I'm hitting the news.
Really?
I'm hitting the afternoon drive. I'm going to the basketball game. They're playing a trailer. I'm getting on the last flight out, and I'm going to the next city. 25 cities. And then I told them, I begged them, I was like, please, let me go overseas and do this. And they was like, we're only going to see you to a couple of cities. I'm like, but this is me. I want to sell. I
do the work. Yeah.
I don't want to cheat nothing. My mother said, if I could bottle your energy, boy, I'd be the richest woman on earth. Because I just have, and I have good intentions. I'm not going to cheat nothing.
Yes.
Right? If we do it, if I sit across from somebody and I go, I'm going to take your money. I don't want you to make $1 on that dollar you gave me. I want you, if you give me $100,
I want you to make 10, 20 times.
I want you to make at least because $20. If you made $20 on $100, that's good, right? Someone did it, but if you made $100, you gave $100 and somebody brought you back $500, you're like, what the f- is that?
Yeah, I'll keep reinvesting in that guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what you won't do, if I'm gonna do that, I need to be responsible for my business. I need to do everything in my power to make sure that I didn't fail anybody. And if you give somebody money, that's the passion that you want from somebody. You want to trust somebody. You want somebody to be like, okay, cool, go do it. Bill, what was the name? Steve Jobs. You trust him. You build great computers and phones, and I trust them. So stock people in the market. I don't put my money in Apple. That money returns your investment. When you go, I'm gonna give you $100, or I'm gonna give you $10 million to do a movie. I'm gonna make sure that the production is great. I'm gonna make sure the script is great. I'll make sure we cast the hell out of it, and I'm gonna make sure that we market. I sit in all the marketing meetings, and that I put this on my back and I get it exposed as much as possible. Now I need you to make sure that I'm not just doing promotion, that you got marketing beneath it, and then together we can hit this thing and we can make this huge explosion. And we've done it in the past. I've done it in the past, so I'm looking forward now to doing more of that.
Wow.
So
this is you mentioned Jim Carrey. I'm a big fan of his work, but
brilliant
also,
artist.
But also when I saw the kind of mini documentary about him doing his art studio, it opened a whole nother level of appreciation for him as an artist. And then kind of his spiritual journey, I've been a fan of with his content around that as well, which it sounds like you bring a lot of God into your life also. So I respect that in you as well. I saw an interview clip of him about a year ago, maybe it was a year and a half ago, where he said he was retiring from making movies, unless some like magical script comes to his door that he feels he's called to do.
Jim made a lot of money.
He made a lot of money.
Plus, Jim has always struggled with, I think, depression and other things. He's brilliant, but he always had some kind of torment. And I think he just wants peace.
Yeah.
And he gave a lot to the art. He gave a lot to people. You get tired of being that famous. And that brother deserves to retire and have his peace. These are his years of peace.
Yeah.
And if he's happy, then we should all be happy for him. Leave him in until he's ready to come out of, because fame is a 24-hour job. I can't clock out.
How do you navigate that?
I just love what I do.
Yeah.
I ain't made it yet. I ain't make it yet. You know what I'm saying? One day he felt like he made it.
Yeah.
I didn't make it yet. So when I make it, oh yeah, but I don't know if I ever will. I think it's part of my matrix. I just love it.
He said
I would vacation more. That's what I do.
You don't do vacation at all, yeah.
Man, I skipped this summer. I was supposed to go to Europe, and I was going to Lake Como, and I was like, no, I'm working on build this tour because I want to film my next special on 12/12.
Wow.
Yeah, because I want it out for next June.
In that interview, he said something, like the interviewer was saying, why you done? And he said, I'm paraphrasing, but he said, I'm going to say something that I don't think any celebrity in Hollywood has the courage to say. And that is, I've done enough, I have enough, and I am enough. Mm-hmm. And again, maybe he's older now and he has done all these different things. But do you ever feel like you will get to that place, or do you even want that? Do you feel like you are enough?
I think it's 70.
70. How old is Jim?
Jim's probably 65,
Something like that.
66. I think it's 70.
I think it's 70.
Yeah, but see, I still have a young face, right? I could still play 35. You know what I mean? Like, these are my...
Yeah, you trim the beard up, you know?
Oh, yeah. If I take this off, it's crazy. Like,
Baby
without
face.
the mustache, it's crazy. I literally don't change, you know what I mean? Like, and my body is still good. I probably got a great 30 years ahead of me.
Wow.
Maybe 20.
So here's
I definitely 20 hard years, 25 hard years.
But 30 of working, yeah. So, I mean, you've been in the business for 30-ish, 32 years, somewhere around there. If you could give 3 pieces of advice to yourself right before you started making money, right before you started getting on TV and doing movies 30 years ago, if you could give younger Marlon 3 pieces of advice, what would that be? Of 30 years of experience and wisdom and failures and success and love and heartbreak and...
Get on stage as soon as you can.
Really?
Learn the science behind your art. Stand-up will teach you how to be a writer, producer, director every night. You learn so much by doing stand-up comedy. 2, you don't worry about Hollywood. You are Hollywood. Hollywood needs you more than you need Hollywood.
That's true.
Don't worry about so much feeding the business. Become a business.
Be the business.
Be the business. 3, put together the right team. Groom your team from day one. Stay loyal, communicative, bonded, so you have a trust. Make sure that each one of you do something different. When you come together, you learn about each other's, art and knowledge, and then you come meetings of the mind here, right? So you don't need to do stand up like I do. But you need a strategist. Somebody has to play chess with you. You can't. It's hard. I tried to do it all. I can't.
You're an artist.
Yeah, I was an artist. I'm always gonna be an artist.
But now you're a business mind and artist.
Businessman.
Yeah.
That's what I'm really focused on. I'm got that. I'm gonna continue to work that, and I'm gonna build that, and I'm gonna build the businesses that go with the business. But right now, I gotta become the business. Wow. And I've learned, you have to say it, and you have to mean it, and you have to work toward it. If you can't say it out loud and God can't hear you, then how are you gonna get to where you have to get to?
That's why, like, you declared the date for your garden tour.
I'm glad you asked me.
Yeah. July 23rd, 2027.
That's my birthday and my mother's birthday.
Wow.
My mother, so.
That'll be
That's
a
why I
beautiful
picked that day.
55.
Yes, sir.
That's number 1
My
in
mom will be
numerology.
so proud. Look at my baby. I knew he was going to do it.
You got to have a photo of her on the screen.
Absolutely. I'm going to cry that night. Not just because I made $1 million from one show.
I can see that, though. I mean, I can already see the future 3 years in the future. I hope it happens, and I'll be there.
will.
I'll be there if it's happening.
If it don't
we'll
happen,
call back to this moment.
Absolutely. I'll come do it again.
If you could go, you've been in the business for 30 years, and you said you'd want to go for another 30. if you could do a hypothetical for me and you could imagine your future self at 72.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can see your life from now until then and imagine all the things that are to happen, the highs, the lows, the in-betweens, and if you could give yourself 3 pieces of advice from then to now, future Marlon to today, what would he tell you today? 3 things that you need to hear to really actualize your potential, your gifts, make sure you're taking care of your heart, feeling the love, being a good human being along the way, all these different things that you feel like, what do you need to hear from future self?
Discernment. Everybody deserves to eat. Not everybody deserves to eat at your table.
Ooh.
Who you invest your time with and spend your time with, is it valuable? Or are you just wasting time?
Wow.
Don't waste your time. Time is the most valuable thing that you have. Every moment should be accounted for and you should feel great about. You learned something. If you're not learning, you're dying. 2, don't continue this. Don't be the smartest guy in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you're going to lose your circle, but you could create another ring. So create a new ring of people that you, inspire you and you can learn from. 3, remember that in branding, you can create other brands. So as you create the brand of Marlon, what else is Marlon selling? What other brand? What are you interested in? What's authentic to you? I like smelling good. You need a cologne. I like my skin well. You need a men's
Skincare line.
Skincare line. I love good clothes. You need a clothing line. I love smoking cigars. You need a cigar company, which I do have. Ligo Tridente Experience cigars. Check them out. They're delicious. You like to have your cocktails. What's your favorite drink? I like bourbon. You need to create a bourbon or get into business with a great liquor company that you can market everywhere you go. Create great partnerships with your brand, with other great brands. And then don't forget that you're the brand, so protect it.
Wow.
And continue to stay out of trouble and stay away from knuckleheads and always be an honorable, considerate person and to stay humble as a person. Don't be so humble in your business. You have to own it. Mm-hmm. But be humble as a person because you can't bring that arrogance into every day because you're going to offend and hurt people. But sometimes in business, you got to be a shark. Period. You have to own it.
Wow. This has been inspiring, Marlon. I've got a couple final questions for you, but I'm grateful for the conversation. It's been really beautiful. If you can imagine all your dreams coming true, which I believe they will, and you get to live as long as you want, but it's the end of the day for you. And if you could hear a message from your mom on that last day of your life, what would you want that message to be?
Big boy, you did good. You made me proud, your father proud. I'm looking at God. He's smiling. You did right by our family. You made sure the grandkids and the great-grandkids and everybody was good. You took care of your brothers and your sisters that I told you that I made for you, and you've been an honorable child. You made the world laugh. I always knew you would.
Yeah. That's beautiful, man. Sounds like a beautiful mom.
Your father and I are up here waiting on you.
Mm.
See you soon. close my eyes and wake up hugging my parents.
Do you have
I'll drink this water now.
It's beautiful, man. I know the grief is something. Again, you're special. Good grief. You share a lot of this with the audience, and it's beautiful to watch you continue to share openly and vulnerably about your relationship and the sadness and the joys and everything in between.
I don't cry about them a lot.
Yeah.
Just when I think about them.
Yeah.
What's good is I've gotten through crying every day, and now you get to that point. I have to think about it. I have to visit it. What does it feel like? You know, it's funny. Before, I think now I'm ready for whatever I've been asking God for. I know I'm ready, even dramatically, because I've always been a good dramatic actor. But I've had a very happy life.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to manufacture pain. And I could get to the tears. But now, since my parents gone, I know I got wings because it's so easy for me to access those emotions. I couldn't before. I had to think about it. When is this and what? Now, just open the safe.
Wow.
And let it out.
Oh, man. That's beautiful. What do you wish more people would ask you? Because they ask you about, all the people you know and you've worked with and the stories of the past and the celebrity and the fame and the money and the success and, all the jokes. But what do you wish they really asked you?
I've been asked pretty much anything, everything. Probably what I'm afraid of.
What are you afraid of?
Death. I'm afraid of...
Is it dying too soon or dying before you reach your potential or dying...
It's dying. I love life.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And I have FOMO, and I'm gonna be so mad at you for being alive, and I'm not there. I'm gonna be hating from the ground. These kids. And then I think marriage.
You're afraid of marriage.
Never been married because I never wanted to cheat on my wife. I'm a noble dude.
You never wanted to cheat on your wife.
I never wanted to cheat on my wife.
So
and I never felt like I was ready for marriage until I hit my 50s.
Really?
Yeah.
You feel like you're ready now?
Yeah, I can do it.
You're still afraid?
Yeah, but less.
Yeah.
Because I'm much more stable. Even though I travel, I'm not in the clubs. I did everything I wanted to do.
Right. You've had fun in every way.
I did it all, and I'm just like now. I want to do less, and I just want to just hang out and chill and smile and enjoy my girl, enjoy my kids and my family, and when I have that time.
What do you think is available for you as a man and a human being when you get married? If you get married, what's available for you? What's the next level?
I think I'll have a lot more. I'll be able to accomplish a lot more.
More focused energy, less
More
distracted.
focused energy, because I ain't going nowhere. I'm not going in the.
You're not texting everyone every day. Yeah.
I'm not. I ain't following nobody on. You know me on Instagram. I ain't got people DM me. I follow one person. That's all. My wife, and just being focused on my family. All the other noise and all the other stuff. At that point, I'm probably gonna get a farm somewhere far away.
Like Chappelle, living in my home state. Yeah. In Ohio.
Yeah, I've been to his places.
Have you?
Yeah,
it's nice. Small town Ohio, man.
He will not move. I'm like, you're so rich.
Because he doesn't need to, right?
At least get a $10 million house. You can do it, Dave. You're rich. He has this little place that he hangs out.
In a little town?
His own little,
his house.
By his house. We call it the shack. And this didn't have no ice. He had like an ice machine that was spitting one cube of ice at a time. I'm like, yo, Dave. I said, I love you.
Get a $200 ice machine. Let's go. Yeah.
I went and bought him an industrial ice machine. I sent it to the damn shack. I was like, I can't let you live like that.
I can't come here and visit you without getting ice. Yeah.
So he's like, Marlon, you're a gentleman. That bought me something.
That's funny.
So, I think I do want like a farm. I want a big palatial estate and put all my family on it and just have all these houses and just make everything, my family, office and work.
Wow.
Everybody right there, all my friends on a big land where we grow our fruits and our vegetables, live off the land, and just kick back on the porch and till it's time to ride out, man.
Wow. It's beautiful. Any other fears? Death, marriage?
Skydiving,
Yeah, man.
water.
I haven't done that.
I do not like the ocean. That drowned me 3 times. I'm like, I'm good. Unless I got a life vest on, I'm good.
Yeah.
I think my fears, I've always feared disappointing people, but I don't anymore.
Yeah.
That's part of life. But as long as I do everything in my powers not to,
Yeah.
then as long as I'm doing my best, like sometime in business, you do a movie, put all this stuff into it, and then the movie doesn't perform. Well, sometimes it's not your fault.
Mm-hmm.
Did you do everything in your powers
Yes.
to ensure that it was successful? Because if I did, then maybe somebody else failed.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't mind taking the blame, because taking the blame, I think that's when you grow. I'm here to grow in life. I'm here to get better. I'm here to improve. I don't mind some criticism. I don't. My brothers, I have the hardest critics in the world. My brothers, I think part of me taking so long to make it to where I want to make it, because I got all these different voices in my head, and I'm trying to get all this approval from them. And then I realized I don't want to do it that way. I mean, one time we took Keenan to Mykonos for his 60th birthday, and we had a Sprinter van. And in the Sprinter van, I was talking to my brothers about stand-up and the state of business, and I was like, talking about stand-up specials, and I said, I want to do one like every year and a half. And it's like, that's stupid. That's not gonna be funny. Yeah, what kind of special is that? That's a regular. Yeah, they're stupid. You can't. It takes 20 years to put together a special. These are my 3 brothers telling me. And I said, I'm gonna show y'all something different. I believe that I can do a great special every year and a half. And here's why, because I get bored with telling the same jokes. I don't need to perfect the jokes. I don't need that much time to rehearse, because I remember things. I remember scripts. I write. I get tired of doing the same material every night. I'm doing something different. I like to do different stuff. I want to hurry up and put this out and perfect it and talk about some new. They're like, that's not the way it goes. You got to work the same material for 5 years. You don't have to work the same material 5 years. I don't have to. I went to performing arts high school. I could. It's in me. I can do a sitcom in 3 days and kill it on Thursday. So Monday, just a table read. Tuesday, we do network run through and a little bit of rehearsal. Wednesday, we do block and tape. Thursday, I'm filming in front of a live audience and I'm crushing it. So if I could do a sitcom where they keep changing the script and I'm learning all these new lines, and I could do that in a matter of 4 days, why the hell I can't do a special in a year and a half? We're stupid. And in the van, Sean, that's the dumbest thing I've heard of. And then my brother David, he looks back and goes, you know, Ugly, a little nickname for me. He said, you know, I ain't trying to burst your bubble. It's damn near impossible. But if you think that you can do it, show them. And I hope that's funny. And he left. And from that day on, I was like, okay. And I'm not going to show him in the anger. Mm-hmm. No, I'll show you. No, I'm going to show you that it can be done. And you guys can do the same thing. And here's how I did it.
Wow. That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. Where should people follow you and support you online? You got the tour coming out. You're on
Tour,
social
Wild
media.
Child Tour, Marlon Wayans official. Get your tickets. Hurry up. You can get a discount. I am doing meet and greets. So I'm going to be doing meet and greets. So you get the chance to come meet me. Check it out. Probably going to put an option to get my album. It's the Live at the Apollo, which is the taping of Good Grief. But there's a lot of jokes that isn't in there that you can find golden nuggets. And also online for Instagram at Marlon Wayans, X or Twitter, Marlon Wayans, Facebook, Marlon Wayans. I have 2 pages. One is personal, the other one's fan page. Sign up both. And lastly, I'm on TikTok, but Yeah, I forgot. I think it's Marlon Wayans on TikTok. Snapchat, it's weird, but find me every now and then. I'll pick it up and I'll do some voices and characters. But Marlon Wayans, and also don't forget to I got my tour, my special, Good Grief, on Amazon Prime. My other specials, if you want to find them, Wokish is on Netflix, and then You Know What It Is on HBO Max, as well as Good Grief and Headliners on HBO Max. Make sure you check them out. And I got a lot of great things coming for you. And 30-some years in the game, and I'm just beginning.
It's amazing, man.
Absolutely.
It's amazing, man. And we'll have it all linked up for everyone in the description as well. But I've got one final question for you, Marlon. Before I ask it,
is this going to make me cry?
No. Okay. No, you already did that. So before I ask the final question, I want to acknowledge you, Marlon, for what it looks to be. You know, this is the first time we've met, but, you know, I've seen your work online, and we've got some mutual, people in common who've said great things about you. But what it looks to be is you've really tapped into a different level of spiritual growth. Even though you've been connected to God your whole life, and your father brought that to you since you were very young, and that's been a part of your life, but it sounds like you're unlocking a different level of spiritual growth in your creative service to the world. Mm-hmm. It's not just about how can I be funny and make money and like get the laugh, but how can I be funny, get the laugh, and serve and help others in whatever story that I'm telling. How can I be of service in my art?
Yes.
And it's something my fiance does really well, is thinking about how she can serve in her comedies that she does as well, as a writer and actor. And I'm just really happy you're doing that. I'm really happy that you are using, 50 years of your life experience and talents and gifts that God keeps pouring into you to also think about serving on the highest level. Whether you're doing it at a donut shop for 5 people at a stand-up, or when you're selling out the Garden in 3 years on July 23rd to 30,000.
Yeah.
I appreciate that you're thinking in that way of service. And it just makes me feel happy to know that.
It's funny, I don't go to church because I realize I can service God better by being at church. So when they come to see my shows, that I'm giving them God's word without being preachy. You get it through comedy, you get it through, but there's always this spirit, and
That's beautiful,
I
man.
am of service. I want people to be happy.
That's
Happy is
beautiful.
important for me. I want everybody to be happy, including myself.
That's beautiful, man. My final question, Marlon, what's your definition of greatness?
Then your authentic self, point of view, and voice reach the masses. And does everybody trust, from people to fans to the business to the money people, trust you with your vision of what you see yourself and your business as? Greatness to me is not a destination. I read a book called The Alchemist. And in that book, it's a little boy that wants to see the pyramids. End of the book, he's never seen the pyramids. But he's on a road to see the pyramids. And to me, greatness is the road that I'm traveling. The destination is an illusion. As long as I'm walking toward being my best me, I'm headed toward greatness. And part of greatness is ultimate joy and happiness. And to me, that's greatness.
I don't like the idea of knowing that what I'm about to do is going to cause ripples of unhappiness, even though it's sometimes necessary to correct what's going on. And that's why it's like, it's almost like, all right, maybe, and you always want to hope